say, guys, we're back at my favorite place. See if we can't find something to play with. Got themselves a new get-around cart. That's pretty cool. Step up from that thing. But we are looking for I think it was A15. Let's check it out. Nope, 12B. So back at HDR, I'm looking for some tools to play with. If you look up top there, see those numbers. That in there? I can't see nothing. There we go. So I'm looking for something specific, and if you look through, you see those little numbers up there. So like aisle 5, whatever. We're heading down to 12. But you got to have your head on a swivel around here because these guys are pretty good on the motors. They keep it alert, but it's kind of your responsibility to not walk in front of them, give them the right of way, get out of the way as they're coming by because they're moving some pretty big stuff around here. And they got a lot of maneuvering to do. Look at this thing. So you give them as much of a berth as you can, get out of the way. Like I said, you got to keep your head on a swivel. And we're heading down to 12. There's another aisle in the back that I'm going to come back around and check out. One I normally stop by. But today, I'm looking for something specific, I think. We'll see. Sometimes, as we all know, things on the internet aren't as pretty in person as they look on that stage picture. So that's all right. We're almost there. We're looking for aisle 12. Coming up on aisle 12. And then let's see here. So aisle 12. All right. So this is my little map here. Aisle 12, B, 1900. So the left side is A, the right side is B. And we're going down to the 1900 section. And we're in the 3200 section. So we got a little ways to go. And again, just let the driver know you see him. That way he knows he can truck right on by. Because they'll be careful and they'll just putt around until they get past you. But if you make eye contact or wave at them to let them know you know they're there and stand out of the way, that lets them get moving. Because they're pretty busy around here. They got stuff to do. So it's just a courtesy thing anyway. But we're still trucking through, and every once in a while you'll see a worker run around like this guy up here. He's going through with a tag, most likely tagging something that somebody bought. And sometimes you're looking at things online that may look available, and then you get here and there may be a sold tag on it. And it can be heartbreaking when you find it, but we're down in 2100 section, so that's when you start seeing some of the tools that I like to work with, grinders and saws and chop saws. And actually I'm looking for a unique tool, and this little guy that I'm looking for has been through the ringer. Oh, here we go. All right, here we are. Oh my. This big boy. Let's raise you up. See how far you are. It's got a quick release. See that? Yeah. Boop. I don't know. I think this might be our toy. That's been a little adjusted. Got a nice hefty blade in there. Oh, you might be missing some things. So we got our 90, our angles. A little slide. So I wonder. Let's look around a little bit more. That might be a little too much for us. Because what I have is I have some. Oh, look at this little guy. What do we got there? That's a little gimped up. Ooh, that one's gonna cost you. Well, how about a radial saw? What's the depth on that little guy? It's only a 10-inch blade, so that's not gonna make it through. So the thing that I'm trying to cut is 6x6, and I need a straight, repetitively constant cut. What have we got over here? But I don't want to spend a whole lot of time working on that. Oh, this is heavy. I've got a fancy little limit chain. That's only a 12. That's no different than what I got. Would need at least a 14-inch chop saw or a bandsaw. Now, this bandsaw, what makes it attractive is the fact that I can use it for some of the metal that I have, cutting up some of the steel and getting away from that chop saw that I use that is obnoxiously noisy. There's another fancy one. It's $239 DeWalt. That thing's got some heft to it. Oof. Let's look at the. Yeah, that's a little too much. You guys see my shop. I don't have that much room. I'm not sure. Judging by this little guy, I'm not sure. But it's not a bad. I mean, it's not a bad price at all. It's relatively cheap. Doesn't take up a whole lot of space, but I have to be able to feed my stuff in this way, so it's not like an up against the wall kind of tool. I don't know. This one might be a little more reasonable. What's this? Capacity. Okay. So we're missing a pulley. I have a little belt here. A motor. On and off. Choo, 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 choo. So we're missing a pulley. The pulley is still spinning the blade. Question is, though, we take this, lift that up out of the way, bring you up, bring you down. Well, that's not right either, because that should not be landing on that. That should be going right there, so that's a little odd. But okay, we can fix that. This can be set to, so what I wonder is that measurement there. So see what's happening is the width is fine, but it's this part here. So between up here and down here, that's mighty close. Now, if we look at central cutting, yep, see up here, 4.5 inch. So that's about it. That's not going to be enough for us. All right. So moving on. Moving on. I keep going back to that one. I mean, that thing is, it is ugly. That one would have been great. But I'm trying to figure out. So we got the spring, got the jump. I don't know. But this thing, no, it's just too damn big. Can't move it. So that's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work, guys. All right. Well, those bandsaws, although nice, may have limited use for me. Because I don't cut that much steel. I cut more steel than it might be a little more attractive. But since I don't cut that much, all I'm cutting is vinyl post, little 6-inch cubes. So I'm going to wander through here and see if I can't find something that's a little more my speed for that. I mean, I still like that one bandsaw. I could use some love and get put back in the field, but right now I need something for me. So the search continues. Always wander through this little section before I give up. This is new arrivals, and sometimes I'll find something in here that appeals to me. It may even be something I wasn't even really looking for, but see, I need a good vise, but that one didn't last long. It's in the new arrival section. It's already sold. Nope. Well, guys, I couldn't take it. I had to do it. But I needed a little bit of reinforcement. No, that's good. Thanks, man. All right, let's strap it down. All right, she's all loaded up. Heading back to the shop. Let's get it back and see what we can figure out with it. All right, well, we're got it back at the shop so we can go through, drink it in a little bit more. Already plugged her in. She turns on. Limit switch works like it should. It is a little bit squeaky, A little bit noisy. It's okay. There seems to be a little bit of some fancy diamond plate work here, but it's nice and clean. They did a nice job on it. It looks good. Um, there's some little wore out parts, our return shock here that are hydraulic that needs a little love. Just dirty. There's our cutting stuff. I'm not sure what that is, but it doesn't have much viscosity. It smells like water, so we got to get that out of there. I cut a little piece of angle with it, but all in all, it looks like there was a little bit of creativity. A few things that over the years now, from near as I can tell, this is circa 1971. So it's been around a little while. It's seen some use. That's good. That's what they're for. And the old school tools, they last, man. And so we are going to go through and see if we can't give this thing a little bit of love, clean it up, make sure everything's lubricated. Motor fired right up, which, you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get little surprises, but we'll just, yeah, everything you touch, a little funky. Little funky. That's supposed to do that. That's fine. Yeah. What is that? A gutter? Okay. Well, we'll we'll make that better. And they did some work over here using the same sort of material as that. So maybe we'll make that better. So let's tear into this thing a little bit, open up and see all the mechanicals down in here. Get in there and look at the little spinny wheeler thingamajiggers and gears and all that fun stuff. You see up in there. We'll get that open, get that clean, get some good grease in there, make sure the motor's lubricated. Yeah, we'll get this old girl nice and cleaned up, and yeah, because it needs some love. But that's what we do, right? We'll give it some love and put it back to work. And this one we'll keep here, put it back to work here, because what I wanted to do with that was replace this. That thing, it's all right. It's just, sparks fly everywhere. It's noisy as hell. And yeah, not a fan. So we got a nice little tool that we can do it right. So let's start tearing into this thing. Okay, so we're going to start cracking into this thing a little bit. It's a Wells saw, circa 1971. So it's got some age to it, but these guys, they're obviously they're built to last. And a buddy of mine, like I said, he has one, and he absolutely loves it. Said it's a hell of a machine. So we're going to start snapping a few picks just to make sure that, depending on how far we tear it down, how far we get into it, we can get it back together right. Now, he's going to send me a few pics of his so we can start getting this thing put back together the way it's supposed to be. Anything missing, necessary, unnecessary, check the oil pump. I drained all of this out. This thing was full of water. Really, so it might have been sitting outside for a while, because that pan just returns oil right into the catch basin here. So if it was raining, it just filled right up with rain. We'll get in there, we'll check the circulation pump, make sure that's working how it's supposed to. But again, we're going to start tearing it down. But like I said, I've told you, mentioned before, guys, if you're going to tear into something that you're not really sure about, just take a bunch of pictures, right? Take a bunch of pictures so when you go to put it all back together and you don't remember exactly where one thing might be going or if something was there or not, you can reference those pictures and then get it back together the way it's supposed to be. So yeah, let's start tearing into this thing a little bit. I'm just going to remove some of the shrouds, some of the protective shrouds, check those gears in there, make sure the drive gears are good, the worm gears are good, because those can get a little pricey. But I fired it up. Here, I'll fire it up for you. It's running. Everything seems to be running like it should. So, yeah, let's just get into it and see what we get. All right. All right, as we're digging into this a little bit more, we can see these are your gears here. Everything's looking good, right? These two guys, I guess that guy's a wearable, but right up in here, you can see you got the belt driven area right up in here, belt here, and you can change just like kind of like a drill press, where you can change the orientation of the belt between here and here to adjust the RPMs of your blade. Now I did find a manual for this, so we can probably get some information on the setting so we know where we want it to be, but we're getting down in there. Let's keep at it. Oh well, hey guys, I got my little Royally Will wire flinger thing here to clean up some of this mess. Trying to get some layers off of this and clean it up a little bit, make it look a little prettier. Now, this is going to be a shop tool, right? It's staying here, so I don't have to get really too far into it. I just want to make sure it's clean, it's safe, and it looks decent, because every so often people do come in here, but we're in the dirty side of the shop. This is where I get up to all of the welding, cutting, grinding, all that funky stuff. So this is the dirty side of the shop. So, but that doesn't mean that I don't want the tool to look somewhat good. So I'm going to go through, just knock off some of the major flakes and funk. And we got the most layer off yesterday, used some cleaner, really went to town on it. And it's a lot better, but I might do a little rattle can touch up on it as well. So I want to get the big chunks off, and I don't know, we'll see. But let's keep going. Oof. Okay. Wow. Well, there's another layer of funk off of there. How much did you guys get to see? I don't know. Kind of tilted off a little bit, but I think I only got 2 or 3 pieces of wire in my leg. So my advice, if you're going to use one of those whirly wheel wire thingamajiggers, don't wear shorts. Yeah, it'll go bad. But anywho, I think I'm going to take a few more parts off of here. I don't want to get too many off because then I just have to put more on, but I think I'm going to pop these off so I can get in there a little bit more. And then there's a little, I'm going to put a little extender on this little handle thing, because you kind of got to reach under to turn it on and off. Maybe just tack a little knob onto it. Knobby knob. Let's set this back down again. Come on. See how far out we got to come. So we got to raise up that stop. So it's stopping in right, but it's hitting that switch. So let's, boop. I don't know. Maybe I'll just hit these with some color, like red, power, yellow for adjustment. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah. Ooh, where are you going? You get back in there. Don't want to lose you. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. It's a sight better than it was when we brought it in here, because boy, was it a mess. But we still got some more work to do, so we'll just keep on going and then get back to assembly. And then we'll see if we can get my buddy Brian over here and give it a once over, give it his seal of approval that it's safe for use. We'll put this bad boy to work. Okay. Yeah, I think that sounds like a plan. Well, all right, guys. Hello, hello. We are sliding into that put it back together phase. Um, so this should be fun. See if we can figure out where everything goes. I got everything laid out over here. I did find um, that there's some little parts missing that I can't seem to really track down. So we're going to have to make something for that. So that should be fun. Anywho, let's start slamming this thing back together, slinging some wrenches, see if we can't figure out how everything goes back in. I'm going to start by trying to slide this thing back in there because it's quite hefty. So I got a little friend here to help me out. So let's get started by starting with that. Let's get that. Alrighty then. I think it's you and you. Yep, and you and you and you. You're funky. Thought I cleaned all you out. Well, apparently not. Yeah. Man, sometimes I wish I had more hands than I actually do. Let's see if we can get you in there. You're gonna stay in there. Get in there. Okay. Now, is that gonna hold while I do this? There we go. All right. Uh-oh. Now, let's see if we can get this one in the other side. Nope. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oof. All right. So there is that. Oh man, I'm going through rags. Okay. So now we got that put back in so we can get this little guy out of the way. Amazon had the part I needed, which is good. But for some reason, they are having a really hard time delivering within our operating hours that we have listed on our business account. And so they show up, of course, after I'm gone. And of course, they are very sorry. And I was given the suggestion, just a suggestion, that we use the option of a what do they call those things? Lock boxes or lockers. You can use a locker and get it wherever you want. Like, well, the reason I ordered it from you is so it could be delivered because we're a business and I can't just, run out the door to go to a locker when I'm paying for all of the fun services to have it delivered, right? I mean, that's the reason you pay for the service, right? But anyway, they supposedly have it straight, and shouldn't be an issue. So uh, we'll see. We'll see if that comes in today so we can button this thing up. So we got this little guy, and that has numbers and stuff on it. No, this is not WD. It's, well, it is WD-40, but it's not WD-40. It is a dry lubricant that I like to use. Okay. Okay. And I don't think from the day it was purchased, meaning new, not by me, but new, to when I grabbed it, I would be surprised if this thing was cleaned even one time. And I just don't understand that. I don't get it. You know, oh, no, I take that back because there was evidence of it having been painted. So somebody cleaned it one time. We know that. And that might be about it. Let me get my adjustable Allen key here so we can tighten this side down. This is a great big giant one I don't have, but I will get one because this isn't going to be the best way to do this. But let's grab you and you. I think it's you two, right? Yeah, sure, why not? Throw you over there. So there's a little switch protector. So if you're feeding the metal from this way, you don't crush the switch, I guess. Okay. Oh, anyway, that's on there. Moving on. Okay. Now, there were some alterations and changes to things. So you got to go through and make sure that you get things back to kind of where they belong. Like, see, that's not right. So what the hell did they stick it? Did they just drill that out and ran some kind of random screw through there? Okay, so I think I got a solution for that. Let's set you off to the side. Let's check you. You gonna work? Sure, that'll work. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Fits on the back side. What are you? So, all right. So, well, hell, what'd I do with it? Oh, I know. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and run this through there. Oh, there we go. All right, let's go. Oh yeah, you're not going anywhere near there. Okay. All right, so we adjusted the stripped out hole there to a tad bit bigger. So this is what happens with old tools. You're running around with a Allen key to put stuff back together, and then bam, you come across a 1/2 inch nut or bolt. Why do I keep saying that? Like I was saying, you got Allen keys, and then you come around the corner, and you got a flathead. All right. you are going to work there. All right, I'm back. And I grinded and I grinded and I grinded. And it's a lot shorter, but there's always the question is, will it thread after you did that to the poor damn thing? And look at that. that, that never works. But worked this time. Okay. We got that stuff back in there. Yeah, I know. But I wanted to get this back together, and I still had to spritz that so I can clean that up while it's on here. And that was just something they fabricated anyway. Something obviously happened with the original one, so it's not exactly right. They did a pretty good job, close enough. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. Okay, so we're plugging along. I got a notification that things are coming. So I'm going to move on and start putting this cutting coolant reservoir back together. So we got the submersible pump that sits down in the coolant and circulates it. The way they had it set up is, instead of being on a switch of its own, it's just wired into the switch of the motor. So whenever they turn on the bandsaw, the pump automatically came on. And up here, where the jets are, or where the outlet is, basically it's a bypass valve. So if they don't want any coolant, they just turn it off and it just circulates. There's a return line that goes back into the tank, and it just circulates round. So, but the question is does it work? Now, what I'm about to do here, I do not recommend doing at home because things can go wrong. But the question is, yeah, seems to work. So there we go. Okay, moving on. All right, so we got a couple of adjustment screws here. I'm going to pull you back, and let's get my square, because we are going to tighten that other side, draw that blade in. I already went out with the other side. What did I do with my square? I know I heard I drop it somewhere, didn't I? Oh, there we go. Okay, so we are going to take you and we're going to do just like that. All right. And we are going to loosen you. We're going to tighten you up a bit. Nope, go back a little bit. I know which way I want to go. Okay. Let's tighten you down over here. Okay. All right. Sweet. Okay. Well, we're down to the wire. Got a few things left to do, and I had to do some shade tree fabrication here for this downfeed cylinder. I wanted one that has actual speed adjustments on it. If you look real quick, you see here that reservoir right there, that valve, that allows you to adjust the speed of the rate that this comes down. So you can slow your cutting speeds down um, for different types of material, whatever you're working with. This was the old one, right? A little funky, and actually, I think it was this way. And you were pretty much committed to whatever this was going to do. And it was shot. You have a little rubber seal in there you can replace, stuff like that. But, you know, as old school, figure we'd upgrade it a little bit. So I'm going to plow a hole right through here, put a cotter pin in there, and we'll call that done. I've already tested it out up and down. It works pretty good. So let's go ahead and plow a hole in here. There we go. Let's go get our cotter pin. Boop. Look at that. Almost looks like it was meant to be. Not really. I can't back that up. Get back down there. All right. So there's that. Now, where did that go? I don't know. Oh, finding an Allen key for this thing was not happening. This thing is a honker. So, no, I did not get one. I tried to find one. Yeah. So, now I know we have a wrench for that. Okay, so we got that done. We got a new bolt thingy-majigger that we can utilize. And the next thing we're going to do, oh, here, I'll show you something. So the pump, you guys seen the pump is working out. But over here, I'm wiring it back into the way it was. I had to put a little ground thing in there. I haven't finished that. But you see there, yeah, wired blue. And this one here is brown. Well, when you get a blue and brown wire like that, you know it comes from across the pond. And so in this situation, blue is neutral and brown is positive. The way we think of, like white wire is neutral, there the blue wire is neutral. I always get confused with that, because I want to say things like brown is ground, but no, brown is positive. So if you get a part, you see a part, or you buy a pump off of the interweb or anything off the interweb, and you see those wires and they're colored like that, that's why. That's how they run their wiring. So, all right. Well, we're almost there. I got some cutting coolant. We'll dump that in there, get that mixed up, and then see how this thing cuts. Yeah, looking good. All right, so here it is. We're all done. We got went ahead and added some new cutting fluid in there, all clean and ready to go. Our new drop cylinder is working out pretty well. Seems to run the way it should. Everything's nice and secure. I got a piece of metal in here. It's nothing huge, but we'll run that through a test, see how that works out. Here's my more shade tree engineering or fabrication. Yeah, we'll call it fabrication. Little blade brush. Here, I'll show you. Okay, so we got our blade brush, And if this looks familiar, yes, it is a door sweep. So I made that little guy out of that because I couldn't find the ones that you order for it. This is old school. So we're going to fire this up, see how the circulation works, see how the drop works, and see if we can cut through that metal. So, oh, here comes the juice. Now up here, we can adjust the speed or just turn it off. Let's open it back up. All right, let's slow it down a little bit. Just a little drip drip. All right, let's see what it does. Speed it up a tad more. It's not jumping now. Oh, oh, oh. Dabble do ya, dabble do ya. There we go. There she goes. Back to work. Nice clean cut. Look at that. All right, well, we'll keep working with it, see what she does. But I think with that being said, we're all done. What do you think, Mike?
Good.
Make your life easier?
Mm-hmm.
It's better than that chop saw.
Yep.
Definitely not as many sparks. All right, well, this is its new home for a little while. Just make sure you don't run into it with the truck. All right, guys. Well, that's about it on that. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed doing it. And we'll keep that thing working for a while. Catch you on the next one.